Hey, what is up, guys? I am
I
back.
never
Fucking hell.
expected the funhouse
Let's continue
itself
on
to be
with this
the
trial,
ultimate
yeah?
weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
What the
Is
fuck?
it really
Okay.
alright to accept a situation so easily? I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mechamaru's murderer?
Who committed
Is it really
it?
okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
That's
What happened to the
true.
bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I
What?
sincerely retract that remark.
Why, you think lowly of us now?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
Very
Sacrificing
true.
others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
Let's see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like I'm getting hungry or anything,
Oh my
you
God.
know. Akane,
Okay.
You're drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I don't know. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Mechamaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Alright. Mechamaru COD, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he was being senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with that object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So, what was the COD? Dead battery, crushed by elevator. Falling, I believe. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That
Probably not
I
push him
don't know
off.
yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
Would they even be
It might
pushed,
be
though?
possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
No,
Did you
that
forget
can't
how the
happen.
elevator functions? When it's on the first floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
Wow, that's graphic.
My gut is going crazy right now.
Your gut again? If Nekomaru died from falling, what did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm gonna reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Sure, alright. Though I don't think he would have been shoved, though. Broken doorknob. I'm pretty sure
When
it's a
the
broken
elevator is on the
doorknob. Or
first
the
floor.
contact elevator.
You can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then,
Shove.
how about this? After locking Mechamaru inside the elevator, they moved
Mechamaru.
the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st and made use of the
Oh,
drop.
oh god.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open.
Ah,
Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
a difference in elevation is required to make the victim die from falling.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be
me
impossible
see.
to shove off the victim from up there.
Duh, of course not.
Damn it!
Whoopsie. Who
When the
makes
elevator is
the
on the
obvious
1st, you can't go through the
contradiction,
door on the
though?
4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mechamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget? As long as there's a moving object inside.
Doorknob? No, doesn't make sense.
damn it!
Shit. Alright,
When the elevator
let's
is on
take
the
a look
first
again.
floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be
night
impossible
button?
to shove off the
No.
victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mechamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st and made use of the drop.
Hold on. Did you forget the elevator? As long as there's a moving object inside.
Yes!
No, that's wrong!
I think once he goes to good night sleep, he can't be detected by anything.
That sensor should only work if something is moving.
Ah, moving.
If Mechamaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When
Yes.
Mechamaru's goodnight button
Most
is
likely.
pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
Very true.
So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Mechamaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about
Unless-
to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Ah, Kazuichi.
Pest?
Oh my
Now
god.
you're calling me a pest?
Okay, now that's just cool. A way to create the drop inside the elevator while Mechamaru is still in it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what way could that be? Yeah! Fucking argument time again. Wire tripped over pillar. Oil on the floor.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Oh.
Isn't
Ow.
it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the
Sorry.
oil on the floor?
Oil.
The
What? That's his
doorknob on the
blood.
floor seems suspicious.
I think it's this one. Yeah! Because the wire was connected to something.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on
And
it?
that man can't even hold on to a doorknob.
Might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
I mean, look at it. It converges to one
Is that
point,
the
and there's
same
no
wire
thing to
that
hold
was
him on
tied
to.
around
anyways.
Nekamaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob,
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
He
That's
wouldn't have
right.
known,
He
though.
was suspended in midair. The killer tied up Mechamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the
Exactly.
tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Great Tower
Very much.
and suspended Mechamaru
Oh, look at that
in midair.
man.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
You better
What?
finish that sentence.
Ooh. Oh, I wanted him to
took
finish the
advantage of
sentence, though.
elevator's unique feature. Only
Shit.
the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekamaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Oh, Kazuichi. Brother, you're going against me?
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why not?
If Nekamaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Fucking, it's rebuttal showdown, boys.
Even if they suspended Nekamaru from a wire, how would they make him fall?
Oh no.
There's no one in the tower to push him off.
What? I can't.
There's
Oh
no
my
way
god.
they could do
Fuck no.
that.
What the fuck is this shit, dude? Elevation. I need to
Even
find
if they
the
suspended
answer.
Nekamaru from a... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
Oh, got him.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekamaru fell on his own? Nekamaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Oh wait, this could be it.
Allow me
Yes!
to cut through those words.
I think he can set his own timer if I'm correct.
What do you think would happen if Nekamaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode.
Exactly.
Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Mechamaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why,
You freak out. No shit.
if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Mechamaru probably did exactly that.
Yep.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In
Very
actuality,
true.
the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
Mechamaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Mechamaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was
And he
that
landed on a pillar.
unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
True. The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... full power? Oh, I remember this man had lots of strength, more than his usual self, or than his original self. If that's what really it was, then that's the clue Mechamaru left behind for
I
us.
see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
You finally understand now?
Yeah.
Come on,
It
Kazuichi.
appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that
God.
right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
Oh my god, this man is bent.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Oh, dare you.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this. So
Dude,
thanks
he's
to
a
that
he's a
alarm,
masochist, man.
Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
He crashed through the pillar button. Doesn't mean Mechamaru crashed straight to the floor. The moment Mechamaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think of what happened to him was he collided with the pillar. Nothing else.
When Mechamaru
You can
fell
see
to
from the
floor,
injuries
he ended up
and
colliding
the
with the pillar.
oil on the pillar.
Isn't that
Oh shit, my fault.
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what
Sure.
about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
Oh no!
Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
What's wrong with that?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because
Why?
even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was
Well, she
no
did
way
say
I
that
could be
too.
late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after the other. What? I can't choke up at a time like this. So I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue breaking through this contradiction. Oh, let's get fucking pumped, yeah? Good night, Fox Tower radio clock. I think it's radio clock.
We headed for Grape Tower.
Yeah?
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru
Ow.
died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No, that's a lie.
No, that's wrong.
It's a radio clock. It can't be tampered with.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock
Exactly.
Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse. Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks. And
Yeah, okay.
because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Human.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a
Oh,
misunderstanding.
blushing again?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
This time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what is it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're understanding something. Which clock was messed with? How was it messed with, and why didn't we realize it? I need to focus. I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Ah, logic diver. Let's fucking go, boys. There you go. Oh, straight over here. D-pad. Oh no. What? Oh my god, that was such BS, dude. I just faced through that platform. You what, man? You're mental. Alright, checkpoint. Come on. There you go, first question. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? The time in the building, I think. Also, I'm pretty sure this is the first time that 3 answers were given. Right, correct. You were correct. Alright, boys, alright. Intense concentration for this diver. Oh, I had to do some fucking jumping, man. Again. There you go, I made it somehow. Second question, which clock was tampered with? The building's clocks? I think it's both of them. Can't just be one. Oh! Ah! So it's not both. It's the building's clocks. Oh! Oh fuck! Okay, now I read that perfectly. I thought the question was talking about both of the towers. But no, it was like Mechamaru's thing, and yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Oh. Oh. Come on. Here we go. Third question. Which house had the wrong time? I'm pretty sure it's both houses. Okay, now I'm confident in the both answer. Alright, you're right. Woo! Got him. Time in the building clocks, both houses. Complete.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks had been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if
Yeah.
you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
True.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
I won't fault you
This
for that,
is
son.
truly fantastic!
Why?
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
30 minutes? She's right, that's the main problem. How much was the time off after a killer messed with it? There should be something they could have used as a standard for measuring time. That should be the clue. Alright, I need to find that. I'm gonna reach the trees in one go. An argument? Oh, that counts?
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was
POV.
clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what
Okay,
time would
true.
7:30 be? In our time.
there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when you fell. It would have been
Akane.
a great clue.
I think Akane heard
Or his
that.
scream.
Nah,
The
not
type to
scream.
let out a
If only Nekamaru's alarm was loud, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
Oh. Alright, I'm pretty sure what Sonya said was
the time of it's clearly 7
place where I should
In
have
our time.
Are there any
consented
clues?
with
If
her.
only I heard the sound when you fell.
Yes!
Agree with that.
Damn. I just started noticing that the bullets were like now sniper bullets now.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Most
Rumbling?
likely.
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
It has to be,
The
dude.
huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonya?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Oh.
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
Hunger
There's nothing to
pangs.
worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
If I'm correct,
heard
Sonya
that
was in a
sound.
deluxe room?
Probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Alright,
Excellent
well,
work, Akane.
if that rumbling sound was heard at 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer to how much our time was off was literally in front of me. 2 hours, right? Nekomaru's was
Nekomaru's alarm
7:30.
went off at 7:30.
The clock was
And if we heard
5:30.
the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving
Damn.
pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the
Exactly.
funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is
That-
obvious. So they could lure out just Nekomaru.
Jess, look at Nekomaru.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
That's
From
true.
there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they try using the to lure Nekomaru, then that specific thing is. I mean, Nekomaru would have known what time it actually was. So if the specific thing was. Oh, the Tai Chi? Ah, that event.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right?
Very
But if they
true.
messed with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be
Delay
able to
everything.
attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. This radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Damn.
When I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
What words?
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Oh, what is he on about? Ah, everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. Okay, so he was talking about that.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we
Of
came to the
course.
tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Ooh, got him.
I'm right.
You sure?
Not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn scene like this.
Oh
Let's just
man.
ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Oh yeah?
Hey,
How?
why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar.
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Oh yeah?
What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Like
Are you
what?
talking about the alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was
Oh.
just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I
Who knows?
remember now. The sound was
Remember
so loud I
what?
couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Who the fuck is that? Oh wait, is it Nagito?
You're the only one!
Yeah, he didn't come out, but
The one who wasn't there.
wasn't he in the deluxe room
It's
too?
you.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there.
But he had a deluxe room.
It was just
That should
me,
blocks out
Kasin,
every
and
sound.
Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
What?
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry
And
House.
Chiaki should have went in the
But
deluxe
I did
room,
not
right?
hear the rumbling sound
Pretty
either.
sure
Is that not strange?
that's where she stayed at too.
To be honest, it's not just them.
Yeah,
The same goes for me too.
I saw her logo on
I
the
was in a
deluxe
pretty
room
deep
door
sleep,
next to Sonya's.
So I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common. And I'm sure
Oh, I
you'll
definitely know,
figure
I
it out.
think. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonya, and Chiaki. The secret is, at least we have in common? Could it have something to do with the guest rooms they were staying in? If that's the case, then I'm gonna be able to figure out what they might have in common. Dude, it's not that hard. Mount Akuma said it himself too, like twice. Deluxe rooms, Holmes. Alright. Bring on the use. Oh god. Woo! Dude. Oh my god. It's the E. It's supposed to be the E, man. Fuck no. Alright. Deluxe. Oh wait, there's the U's. Where's the X's? Oh god. There's the X's. Alright, boom. Now bring on the R's. I'm so concentrate on this. Oh, do not. Do not. Fuck. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that thing was literally right behind the tail. Yes. Ow. Yes. Thank you. much. That was easy.
Nagito,
That was
Sonia, and Chiaki,
very damn easy.
3 of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
They're like the best rooms. They're soundproof. The chrome rooms are shit. Standard rooms are so-so.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. I actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve course
Oh my
student
god, you're still on
talent?
me for that.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Who stayed in the deluxe
Decisive factor?
room other than Nagito? Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. If I think about the features of their guest room, a person's actions are clearly strange because that person might be the killer. Is that what this means? Wait, Gundam was one of them. He had a deluxe room. You had a deluxe room, dude.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Oh, silent, huh?
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that?
Dude.
The bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night. It is the universe's providence to stop it.
How were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. Why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it,
True.
Gundam?
Dude,
There's only one possibility.
come on.
You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Oh, wait, Hiko?
Me? After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct?
Oh, true. He would have been spotted.
Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right?
Exactly.
If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mechamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Very,
putting
very
Mechamaru
true.
in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order
That
to do that,
consumes time.
the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
Exactly.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately,
aren't the rooms locked,
they
though?
failed to secure that alibi. I was in the lounge,
Fuyuhiko was an interceptor.
so the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Oh, man.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out.
I would have taken that
been
chance,
the worst
honestly.
possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two
Or
had just checked
actually,
the
he
deluxe rooms
should have
as
just
planned,
bolted for it
that would have
since
been
because of the
ideal.
ringing.
How ironic.
Huh.
The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you
sorry
at
for
least
skipping
say
the-
something?
The silence.
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess? The
Like
answer
8.
is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears.
Oh wait, I only
That means
counted
I
the
have
3 hamsters
5
on this thing.
times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
That's
Is that
just
your
retarded.
argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The
Aw,
truth
man.
shall now commence. At the time,
Dude.
I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's
Okay.
right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
You
Are
sure?
you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well,
He wants to
you
hold
don't
out.
have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
We need
You
to
know,
be.
Hajime,
Oh
this
god damn
class
it.
trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say it's just a farce. Just
What?
a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers.
That's depressing then.
Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito,
Why?
something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What?
That's
What
true.
actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well,
Being
let's just
smug?
leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Sure.
You said opening act again!
Oh, don't get so
Please hold
pissy.
on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
What is his
But he's
rebuttal then?
completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
PTA right now?
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From
Okay.
there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although
Okay.
going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses
Seriously?
anyway?
Let's see. The contact elevator was broken.
As
But
I
when was it
recall,
broken?
The killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If
Okay.
so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with
Alright.
that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, he wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Hope versus despair. Fucking hell, man. Contact. Broken doorknob. What?
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Oh,
As
no.
long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
If there was a secret passageway.
Or do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Okay, I think what Akane said is literally
only means
what
of travel, as
bullet.
long as that
I need to
elevator
use
assumption
the
could
memory
apply.
bullet.
The element broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot...
Since I was at Strawberry, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they hadn't.
No, not
It's a
him.
secret passageway.
Alright,
How much
inhale
longer?
that.
Why don't we stop this already?
Well, Gundam, I got a memory buff for you, son.
That elevator was the only means of travel between...
Yes!
That's wrong.
Thank you for the hit, Hajime. Oh,
There
man.
should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Oh, yes,
Why
it
don't
does.
we ask the person who actually used that method?
Are you serious with this? Where's Nagito? Hello, good
You're
sir.
the only one.
Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't
The
play
travel.
dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Because
There's
you
a
showed
secret
up.
passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up.
It's just your luck.
But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House.
I just feel like Nagito's just trying to one-up me
After I
right
opened
now.
the door and went down. Surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive.
Monokuma Archive, huh?
The third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used
Very
that secret
true.
passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited
Ooh.
Flame!
What, man?
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
How can you?
They didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Oh, exactly.
You say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
When I'm angry. Oh boy. Wire tipped over pillar.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through
Like,
multiple
how can I
planes,
get all that?
provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Ow.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Fucking hell. Okay, this
Even
is
if
too
the
hard.
turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Come on. Come on, boys, come on. Yes. Fucking hell.
I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur!
Oh, cur.
You don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion. At least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Oh my god, what the fuck was all that? A key which dwells in the light.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur!
Jesus.
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light. Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur!
I'll be the wire,
Don't
actually.
want to drown in the maelstrom of...
Allow me to
Yes!
go through those words.
So we obtained.
The wire
Oh
used to
wait,
string up
didn't
Nekomaru's
Nagi
body.
say there's a wire among the swords and
The
shit?
hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
Yeah.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Yeah.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
Oh.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now. Hey, what are you... First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably
You're taking my
broken
son
by
right
that
now.
point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And
What?
without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Without fighting?
Hold on! You... What did you just say?
Oh, he takes
That
offense.
I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
Probably we were assuming it wrong.
Years. I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However,
Oh, now he called
I
himself
cannot
a human.
finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious. I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions.
Oh
Are
man,
you
this
saying
man.
you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button.
Okay.
However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
He remembers
It's not
that.
easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just
Very
as I
true.
thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
Oh
That's
man.
wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Oh,
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First,
Oh, yeah?
you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human.
thank you for the
Have
simple
not
tips.
fulfilled either of those yet.
Either, huh? I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I'll provide an argument that leaving no choice but to persuade. So this is his PTA, huh? Denial?
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither!
Oh my god.
Trust that David prophesized! I won't let you!
Reload.
For the Tanaka Empire!
Not for Empire.
Abracadabra!
Cadaver.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crush that David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither!
Something else.
Crush that David prophesied!
We're almost done.
For the Tanaka Empire! It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get rid of him so easily? This is the end!
Yes! On your hamsters.
Even if you didn't get behind Nikomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck.
Now you specific.
As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Are you
Oh.
seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's
I mean, those
neck?
hamsters are still
Of course
dull.
it'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Oh, when he opened the button, right? Oh, yep.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue,
Oh, even she remembers
one of
that.
Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Yep.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mechamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Oh.
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are.
You're actually happy about that?
I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Oh, man. Closing argument now. Alright.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Also, it's around 7 more
First,
minutes
go
until
over
we're
the
done.
many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed
all
the
of that.
contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead ring. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret
Faster than
being
Nagito.
Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up
Robot.
and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason.
Tai Chi.
There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Great Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was
I like
broken,
the
Nekomaru
robot
was
noises.
unable to go to Great Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower.
Nani?
But the killer was waiting for him there.
Oh.
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
Oh.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon.
The building itself.
First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob.
Ah, the laundry's almost done, I think. Oh.
After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall.
True.
With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out.
Ah, damn. Ah, there goes my
The lounge's
laundry.
wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang,
he
it
finally
was
woke
also
up.
the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking.
And he fell into
Nekomaru fell from
pillar.
the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
Yep.
That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
So smug in that photo too. Jesus, man.
Splendid.
What now?
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Ugh. I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then
she
finish
feels an
it!
attachment.
Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
As every result, everything is bittersweet, my boys. How did I get 79 points just in the first thing? Oh, that was that one argument that I just fucked up a lot, didn't I? Bleh. Grazie.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote.
Oh
Who
boy.
will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever. Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part.
Ah, that's depressing. Gundam Tanaka. Fucking hell, is the killer. Trial end. And we don't have any more time to go on. Fucking hell.